It's been a whole year, bro, since Vultures 2 dropped, V2. And I gotta be real with y'all, I still listen to this more than I music. No joke. I made a post about it the other day, and I meant it. I still play River, Promotion, Dead, Slide, My Soul to this day, bro. And honestly, I don't even touch iMusic anymore, bro. But that's another video for another time. The point is, Vultures 2 is not the trash, fire, dump that people make it out to be. Now, is it an amazing 10 out of 10 project? No, absolutely not, bro. I'll even say it's the weakest in Ye's discography. I'll say that. But if you didn't know who Ye was and the album came on randomly, you'll probably still find a handful of tracks, and you'll probably say they're fire. Now, the highlights of this project for me are like Slide, Dead, River, My Soul. These songs are genuinely solid. My Soul, especially, bro. I think that track is criminally underrated. Ye's verse is super smooth. The beat is amazing. And the whole track has like this laid back but focused energy that feels classic. You know, even the production across the album has its moments. You can hear that mix of like Ty Dolla $ign's melodies and Ye's left field choices. And, you know, this wasn't Ye at his absolute peak, bro. We know this. It's not yet his absolute peak, but there are flashes of like that old Ye on tracks like Dead, Promotion, River. You know, they still hit like the first listen, bro. The songs are still good. And that energy hasn't worn off for me. Specifically, those songs. Yo, Blind, the rollout was ass, bro, but that was a bad rollout. I know, bro. I know. Trust me. I already hear you guys. Like, it was a mess. I'll admit that, right? Songs were swapped, track lists changed, and the whole thing had like this unfinished energy that Ye projects sometimes have. But at least V2 actually came out, bro. You know, with Ye, there's always a risk a project just vanishes into the vault forever or only lives through leaks. You know, we've seen that happen a ton of times. The fact that V2 made it to streaming is honestly an achievement, bro. I gotta laugh, bro. And for all the chaos, there's still some strong moments in the live listening parties and the energy surrounding that album specifically. Here's when I think the album drops the ball and like the missed potential about this whole shit. V2 could have been great, bro. V2 could have been amazing if, in fact, but Ye just didn't do like smart decisions. Like, you know, if Ye made smarter cuts and additions, like there's like a whole pile of unreleased tracks from the V2 era, like PPV, Yeah About Mine, Afterlife, Melrose with Cardi. That could have taken this from to okay, this might be good or special, right? But that's just Ye, you know, casually leaving some of his best work locked up while giving us a track that I feel like it's missing something, right? And that tendency is part of what keeps fans both hooked, but also frustrated. So 1 year later, I'll say V2, it's an okay album with great moments, right? Not Ye's best work, not even fucking close, but definitely not the disaster that people claim. Like, if you cherry pick the highlights, it's a playlist I'll run for years. And honestly, the more time passes, the more I see people quietly revisiting it, especially those standout tracks. Like, it's flawed, sure, but it's still Ye, and even Ye's weak albums have songs that pretty much smoke 90% of what's out right now, bro. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I've made a video like this before, but I kind of want to revisit this album a year later. And let me know your thoughts. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.